I just thought that my kids played extremely hard. Things just didn't necessarily go in our favor. We talked about it at half. I just felt like we had just way too much slippage towards the end of the second quarter. A lot of that was on me. I should have subbed. Kids were a little tired. And we made mistakes. I think some of it was because we were tired. And, obviously we came out connected in the third, and we did what we could do. And then we hit a wall again. We just couldn't put the ball in the basket. We had shots. I felt like if you just looked at the game, we had easier shots, easier transition opportunities than them. The ball just didn't go our way when we had a chance to close it. It just didn't go our way. But I'm proud of my kids. So.
Questions for players next. All right, so we'll do questions for players, and then we'll take more questions with coaches.
All right.
Maya, I guess just coming back sort of nearer to where you're from, back to the Midwest for your last year, what were you kind of hoping for in coming into this program, and how do you think this season kind of delivered on that?
I think I got exactly what I was looking for. Just a program that understands who I am as a player. And I think that's, my MO as a player, I think is in line with what Coach Box's MO is as a coach. So I think it was a really good fit for me, and I'm super blessed to have been here for a year. I love my teammates. I love the coaching staff. It's been a great year for me. So.
Any other questions for our student athletes before they're dismissed?
Can you just talk a little bit about, expectations were pretty low for this team this year, and then you exceeded pretty much everybody's expectations in this room. Just some thoughts on that.
Our coach puts a lot of emphasis on just being us, and I think that we've been building that since the summer, and I'm just proud of this team because we've been getting better every single day, and it starts with stuff people don't see. So I'm just proud of us because we do a lot of things that don't show up on the stat book, but, we proved everyone wrong. We came here, and we did what we did, but we came up short, but I'm still proud of us at the end of the day, so.
You guys can go. Questions for Coach?
Coach, you guys obviously took a big step this year, right, in year two, and there's a pretty clear-cut identity, I think, of what you want this team and this program to look like. How close do you think you are in terms of, where you're at with that true identity that you guys want?
I feel like we're very close. I feel like we're not that far from winning this thing, and so, obviously the key is retention anymore, and also the key is to bring in kids that complement the kids that we have here right now, and so the thing is we all have a vision of what we want it to look like, and I feel like now even the kids that are here, they've tasted winning, and I've said this before, like it's tough to just go from bad to great. Like you have to, at some point, you have to experience winning, and I think in the second quarter that held true more than probably any other time in this year because that's what championship basketball looks like, right? Like when you're competing for championships, you can't have slippage. You have to execute. Your I's have to be dotted. Your T's have to be crossed. And ours was not. They were not tonight. And I think part of that is just part of that uphill climb. And we're going to get there. It's a matter of time. We're going to get there. I'm convinced of it.
Do you think that some of those stretches, they happened at points throughout this year? Do you think that now in future years as this team gets a little bit older, as these recruiting classes that you've brought in start to develop a little bit more, do you think that's something that you'll start to see phase out?
Well, I would lie. I'd be lying to you if I knew the true answer to that because we live in a different world anymore, right? And so retention is big. Like you want to keep your core kids, you want to keep your kids because then you can grow together, like just an natural organic process to take place. And so, my aim and my goal is to provide I guess the word I like to use is a joyful experience, and it's on the kids to want to be a part of that. And I think that these kids had a great experience here, and I think that as we move forward, we're going to continue to sell that. We have a lot to sell, and when we get these kids and we continue to build our talent level the way we're doing, we're going to win championships. I'm convinced of that.
You guys had quite a few really good moments this year, whether it was even from your first game of the year, I think turning a lot of heads at that App State game and the Florida trip where you guys won a couple of games. And I know that happened earlier in the season, but just what's your assessment of where this team ended the season at compared to where they started?
I don't feel like we ever really had a bad stretch. I don't feel like we had bad losses this year. I think that's a cool thing. Heck, I've been a part of some historically bad losses. We didn't have any bad losses this year, not against teams that that weren't considered good. And I think that says something in itself as we're trying to grow our program. But we're still knocking on the door to try to beat the more historically proven teams. Like Kent State, which we were fortunate to beat them at their place. We're still aiming to beat Ball State, but I think our talent level has increased. And I think we're in a different position right now of selling our program than we were last year. Last year, we're selling a 9-win team. Now we're selling a 19-win team and expect to be 20, 21, 22, as we move forward into the season because our season's not finished yet. And so I think we have something to sell, something more to sell. It's a cool thing to win 19 games. There's a lot of people around here that haven't won 19 games, and we've done some good things.